Hi, my name is Stephanie Slifer. My maiden name is Stephanie Weybrandt, and the reason that I'm writing to you is that my father, Stephen Weybrandt, hasn't seen his biological sister in almost 60 years. Probably about 56 or 57 years. So I'm hoping that you can help us find her. We don't even know her name. Her name, when she was born, was Susie, or Susan Weybrandt. But we don't know if that's the name that she kept growing up. We don't know if she got married when she grew up. So that's about all that we have to go on. The reason I wrote is because I want to help my dad find his sister. I don't think he feels complete because she hasn't ever been a part of his life, not since he was so young. He can remember her vaguely. He grew up with a lot of stepbrothers. He grew up with a stepbrother and a stepsister and a half-brother. But he always knew that she wasn't there, and he was old enough to remember that he had a full sister that was taken away from him. And after my grandfather passed away 9 years ago, I think it hit home even more than ever that it was just him and us. Don't get me wrong, we've always loved my aunts and uncles. He loved my grandmother, but she was not his biological mom, and his stepbrothers and stepsisters and his half-brother, it was never the same as his sister. So I want to help my dad. That's why I've been looking for her. That's why my whole family has been looking for her. My brother has looked for her. We just don't know how to do it. When my dad was 3 or 4 years old, we're not exactly sure. Looking at pictures, I would guess he was around 4. But when he was around 4 years old, my grandfather and my dad's mom split up. His sister was about 1.5 years younger than my dad, maybe 2 years younger than my dad. And my grandfather took my dad, and my dad's mom took Susie, and they went their separate ways. My dad never saw his mom again. He never saw his sister again. My grandfather never saw Susie again. When my dad was around 5, my grandfather remarried, and he and my grandmother and their family moved to Pennsylvania from Oregon. And it looks like, again, from what I can figure from looking at an album, it looks like his mother and his sister moved to Washington State at around the same time. My dad's great-grandmother, his Granny Grizzle, actually did keep a scrap album for my dad that she sent to my grandmother in 1959, I think it says in there. And there is one picture of my dad's mom and Susie when she was a little bit older, and Susie's half-brother. So in addition to a full sibling, my dad has at least one half sibling out there that we don't know. And I just want to know them. I just want to be able to look at them and see if I look like them. I want to see if my children look like them. I want to see what history we have that we don't even know about. I've known that my grandmother was not my dad's real mom for a long time. It was never something that was paraded. It was never something that was talked about in our family. But when I was a little girl, at some kind of family function, I said to my grandmother, "You're not my dad's real mommy, are you?" And now I know that she was my dad's real mommy, just not my dad's biological mom. But there's questions that I have. As a mom, I have questions, and I'm hoping that Susie can help answer them. I would like to know what happened. And I'd like to tell them about my grandfather. I'd like to tell Susie about her dad. If I was her, I would want to know about my dad, about my biological dad. I would want to know what I could find out. I want to know her kids. There's just so much that we don't know.